All right, let's do some Week 1 NFL picks because the season's upcoming. I figure why not? I will attempt to make this a weekly series. Can't make any promises though. But let's just get into it. First game of the season, Thursday night football, Cowboys versus Eagles. I'm taking the Eagles in this game simply because they're a better team than the Cowboys, I think. They're playing at home. They just won the Super Bowl. It's hard for me to go against the Eagles. And at the time I'm recording this, the Cowboys still have yet to re-sign Micah Parsons, which is unbelievable to me. Next game, I believe this one is in Brazil. It is the Chiefs versus the Chargers. Oh, I want to pick the Chargers so bad. But I'm going to go with the Chiefs in this one. Now, if the Chiefs can stop the run, I think the Chiefs are going to win this handily. But if the Chargers can get the running game going, keep Patrick Mahomes off the field, I think the Chargers have a really good chance of winning. But I think it's all just going to come down to how well the Chargers can run the football, because that's what they want to do. That's what Jim Harbaugh wants to do. And that's how you beat people like Mahomes. You got to keep them off the field. Now into our first Sunday game. We've got the Dolphins and the Colts. I'm taking the Dolphins in this one. Daniel Jones is going to be the starter for the Colts. I trust Tua more. With week 1, it is definitely the most chaotic week, that's for sure. So, I could see an upset. I could see an upset with every single one of these games if you want the truth. But I am going to take the Dolphins in this one. I think the Dolphins are just a better team on paper, and I think they're going to be a better team on the field. And as I said, I don't trust the Colts quarterback situation at all. But I do think that they will keep it close. Moving on, Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Jets. Come on. Of course I'm taking the Steelers in this game. Come on. I can't wear this crest and not pick them. But, just in general, I do think it'll just be, the Steelers are just a better team overall. They're a better coached team, that's for sure. And I think that, I think that's going to show. I think the Steelers are going to beat the Jets. I think it'll be close, but I do think the Steelers are going to beat the Jets, and they're going to go to 1-0 on the season. But this is a revenge game. This is a revenge game for both Aaron Rodgers and Justin Fields, so it'll be interesting. So we'll see how that goes, but of course I'm picking the Steelers. Panthers versus Jaguars. Oh, this is probably one of the hardest picks for me. But I am going to go with the Jaguars for the simple fact that they're at home. As I said, with week 1, you never know. I very well could see the Panthers winning this game. I very well could. But I just think that... Oh, man, it's hard. But I am going to go with the Jaguars. I think right now Trevor Lawrence is a better quarterback than Bryce Young. I think they definitely have a better defense. But I think if the Panthers can get the running game going, I know they really like Chuba Hubbard. They have Coker. And I think they also drafted a running back. I know they also have Trevor Etienne. If they can get the running game going, I do think Carolina has a good chance. And I am going to go with Jacksonville on this one. Moving on, we've got the Arizona Cardinals versus the New Orleans Saints. I'm going to go with the Cardinals in this game. I just don't think the Saints are very good. At the time I'm recording this, I still don't know who the Saints are starting at quarterback. If I had to take a guess, I would say it's probably going to be Tyler Shuck. But, I don't know. Also, the shadow looks weird. Hello. But I trust Cardinals and Kyler Murray a lot more than I do the Saints right now. So I am going to go with the Cardinals in this one. Moving on, we've got the Giants and the Commanders. I'm going with the Commanders. I think the Giants are going to be terrible this year. And I just think the Commanders are, one, a better coach team. I think they have a better roster. I think it's going to be a hard game for the Giants to win. Plus, the Commanders have well, I don't know. I could see the Giants winning just because it's a divisional game, but I don't think they're not close to. They're not even close to being a better team than the Commanders. So I am going to go with the Commanders in this one. Next, we've got the Buccaneers and the Falcons. This is going to determine a lot on how this season is going to go for both teams. This is going to be an interesting game. Oh man, I am very tempted to go with the Falcons. I'm very tempted to go with the Falcons in this one. You know what? I might be dumb. I'm going to go with the Falcons. I think the Falcons have a better defense. I think they have a better running game. I trust Baker and those receivers more than I trust Penix and his receiver. But, oh man, it's hard, but I am going to go with the Falcons. Especially if the Falcons actually have a pass rush this year, I'm going to go with the Falcons. But as I said, week one, anything can happen. Divisional game especially, anything can happen. So I wouldn't be shocked in the slightest. Moving on, we've got the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Cleveland Browns. This is a hard game for me to pick. Obviously, I don't like either team. I hope they both lose. But the Bengals have really struggled early on in the season recently. Of course, they lost to the Patriots week one last year. They lost to the Steelers week one a few years ago, and they lost to some other team. I think it was the Browns a couple years ago, actually. So, I don't know. I am going to go with the Bengals in this one. Joe Burrow actually had some preseason playing time, which I think helps. But yeah, I really could see Cleveland winning this game, especially since against the Bengals, for whatever reason, Cleveland is really good. I don't know why. But I am going to go with the Bengals in this one. But I wouldn't be shocked if they dropped this one. Moving on, we've got the Raiders and the Patriots. Ooh, that's hard. I think both these teams are very evenly matched. I think they're going to be two very well coached teams. I don't know. And I want to make this clear. I don't script these videos at all. I am doing all of this on the fly. So you are seeing me genuinely think about every single option. I just think it makes it more authentic that way, but that's just me. I'm going to go with the Patriots. And I'm going to go with the Patriots because I trust their quarterback situation a bit more. Obviously, Drake May is going to be playing for the Patriots. Geno Smith for the Raiders. Now, I don't think Geno Smith is a bad quarterback by any means, but I just think that with the added additions there on offense for the Patriots, with Stephon Diggs, Travion Henderson, and of course, they boosted up the offensive line, I don't really trust the Raiders' pass rush outside of Max Crosby. I just have a feeling about the Patriots in this game. Now, moving on, 49ers and the Seahawks. I'm going to go with the 49ers in this one because I think they are a more well-rounded team, and I think the 49ers are going to be pretty good this year if they can stay healthy. I mean, that's always been the thing with San Francisco. They have a good roster, but they just either make the Super Bowl or they miss the playoffs because they died. I mean, that's what it's been for the past, 7 years? I'm going to go with the 49ers here in this one just because I think they're overall a better coach team and I think they have a better team overall. Moving on, we've got the Titans and the Broncos. Of course, this is Cameron Ward's first game in the NFL. I'm going to go with the Broncos in this one. It's at home. This one, Bo Nix, I think he's going to be ready for week 1. And against the Broncos defense, I have a hard time thinking that the Titans are going to be able to move the ball. But I think if the Titans' offensive line can hold up and Cam Ward has time to get the ball down to his receivers, Calvin Ridley, Chigakonkwo, or even, I think if the Titans are going to win this game, I think it's going to require really good blocking and a lot of screen passes. But that's just me. Hey, what do I know? I'm an amateur. All right, I don't know what I'm talking about half the time. I just go with the flow. Moving on, you've got the Packers and the Lions, a very important game, I think, for late season wild card picture potential. I'm going to go with the Lions. I think they have a better offensive line. Not that the Packers have a bad one. I think the Lions' offensive line is slightly better, even with Frank Ragnow retiring. I think they have a better running game, which says a lot because the Packers have Josh Jacobs. I trust their pass rush a lot more than I trust the Packers, which I don't think is super outlandish to say, but I don't know. I don't know. I think that'll be a very good game. But as I said, it's week 1. Anything can happen. The Packers are at home. But the Lions have had their numbers in Lambeau recently. So I don't know. I very well could see the Packers taking this one. I just have a feeling about the Lions. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, wanting the Lions to do well. But I don't know. I trust the Lions. Moving on, we've got the Texans, we've got the Rams. I'm going with the Rams in this one. Sunday afternoon football. And I'm going with the Rams in this one. That's hard. I think I'm going to go with the Rams. I love Kyren Williams a lot. I think he's an excellent running back. And I trust the Rams' offensive line more. I trust their pass rush more. I think the Rams are a better, well-rounded team than the Texans. And for week 1, that's all you have to go off of. So I'm going with the Rams in this one. And they're at home. I'm going with the Rams. Moving on, Sunday Night Football, Ravens, Bills. Give me the Bills in this one. I'm taking the Bills because I think they're a better team than the Ravens. Maybe not overall, but Josh Allen makes that team better. Simply put. Josh Allen is the Buffalo Bills, and he has been the Bills ever since he was drafted. Now, I think the Bills, this is going to be a great game. Obviously, I think, there are playoff seeding on the line already, which is insane to say, but I think it's the case. I'm going with the Bills. They're at home in this one. And, of course, we saw the Bills beat the Ravens in the playoffs last year. I think we saw it a couple years back as well. I trust the Bills. I don't know why. The Ravens do tend to have their number in the regular season, though, just given recent history. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me being a biased Steeler fan, and I hate the Ravens with a passion. but I don't know. Maybe I very well could be wrong, and I own that. Anyways, moving on to the very last game, we've got the Minnesota Vikings versus the Chicago Bears. I'm going with the Vikings in this one. I don't trust the Bears. I never trust the Bears because the Bears always stink every year. I think the Vikings have a better roster overall. But, the Vikings season overall is going to depend a lot on J.J. McCarthy. How well is J.J. McCarthy going to do? I think, it's going to be a tough first test against a division rival in the Bears. But I think J.J. McCarthy is going to do okay. In fact, I'm going to make a prediction. J.J. McCarthy, he's going to have a little over 200 passing yards, like 220, 230. He's going to have 2 touchdowns and a pick. That's my prediction. That's my super prediction of the week, I guess. But yeah, those are my picks for this week. I'm going to try and make this a weekly series. Won't make promises, but don't die.